Stop scrolling and look at your driveway. There is a parasite sitting there, and it is eating your future alive. Most people think their car is a symbol of freedom or success. We are trained to believe that a shiny vehicle means we made it. But the math tells a terrifyingly different story about your wealth. That machine is not an asset. It is a wealth-destroying vacuum cleaner. I'm not talking about the gas money or the occasional oil change. I'm talking about a hidden mathematical reality that keeps the middle class poor. You see, the dealership sells you a monthly payment you can afford, but they never show you the opportunity cost of that money over time. If you drive a new car, you are likely burning over $1 million. Yes, you heard me right, $1 million. Today, we are going to expose the financial lie of the automobile. We will calculate the true cost that banks pray you never figure out. We will look at two different people, one who drives rich and one who gets rich. And by the end of this video, you might just want to sell your car. This is the hidden math of why your car keeps you poor. Let's start with the moment you walk into a car dealership. The salesperson is trained to ask you one very specific, dangerous question. How much are you looking to pay per month? This question is a psychological trap designed to hide the total price. They want you to focus on the monthly digest, not the massive debt. As of 2024, the average new car payment in America is a staggering $740. That is nearly $750 leaving your pocket every single month. But wait, because the dealership payment is only the tip of the iceberg. You cannot drive that car legally without paying for full coverage insurance. For the average male driver, that adds another $200 a month to the bill. Then you have the silent expenses like gas, tires, and routine maintenance. Conservative estimates put these running costs at another $100 every month. So, let's do the real math on that. Affordable, new car payment. The $740 for the loan, plus $200 for insurance, plus $100 for maintenance. Your actual monthly cost is $1,040 to drive that vehicle. Most people earn that money, spend it on the car, and think they are breaking even. But you are not breaking even, you are actively destroying your net worth. Because while you are paying the bank, the car is destroying its own value. This is called depreciation, and it is the silent killer of middle-class wealth. A new car loses about 10% of its value the moment you drive away. By the end of the first year, it has lost a total of 20%. After 5 years, that $40,000 car is worth roughly $16,000. You just paid $104 a month to own something that is vanishing into thin air. But the depreciation isn't even the scary part of this equation. The scary part is what you could have done with that money instead. This is where we leave the car advice and enter the wealth math. We need to talk about opportunity cost, the most important concept in finance. Opportunity cost is simply the money you lost by not investing your cash. Let's take our average American car payment scenario of $1,040 per month. Imagine you decide to be a car person from age 25 to age 65. You always have a car payment, leasing or buying new every few years. You are consistently feeding this machine $1,040 every month for 40 years. Now, let's simulate an alternative reality where you drive a modest beater. Let's say you invest that $1,040 into the S&P 500 instead. The stock market has historically returned about 10% per year on average. We will be slightly conservative and use an 8% annual return for inflation. In the first year, you save $12,480, which seems like a nice chunk of change. But compound interest needs time to work its exponential magic on your money. After 10 years, that invested car payment grows to over $189,000. You could literally buy a house with the money you wasted on cars. But let's keep going, because the numbers get absolutely insane after 20 years. After 20 years, your investment portfolio hits a staggering 597,000. Remember, this is just from redirecting your car payment into an index fund. Now, let's look at the full 40-year timeline of a working career. If you invested that 1,040 monthly at 8% for 40 years, the total is shocking. You would have $3.5 million in your bank account. Let that number sink in for a second. $3.5 million. When you see a BMWs on the highway, don't see a luxury car. You should see a $3.5 million retirement fund driving down the road. Every time you sign a car lease, you are setting fire to your future freedom. The car is not just costing you the sticker price, it costs you your retirement. This is why the average car owner stays poor while the bank gets rich. They understand the time value of money, and they use your car to steal it. So if the math is this obvious, why does everyone still buy new cars? The answer lies in human psychology and our desperate need for status signaling. We are tribal creatures who use objects to display our rank in society. A new car is the easiest, loudest way to shout, "I am successful." But in the modern world, this signal is almost always a financial lie. Let's look at a tale of two drivers, Tim vs. Brad. Brad is a 25-year-old junior executive who wants to look the part. He leases a new luxury sedan for $700 a month, plus insurance. Brad looks rich, feels great, and gets compliments from his coworkers. But Brad has zero assets and is drowning in consumer debt. Now meet Tim, who earns the exact same salary as Brad. Tim buys a 5-year-old used Honda Civic for $10,000 cash. It's not sexy, it has a scratch on the door, and nobody cares. Tim takes the $700 difference and puts it into his investment account automatically. Fast forward just 10 years, when both men are 35 years old. Brad has driven 3 cool cars, but he has zeros in savings to show. Tim is still driving a used car, but his investment account has $128,000. At age 50, the difference becomes life-changing for both of these men. Brad is still working because he has to make his car payments. Tim has over $500,000 and can essentially retire if he wants. Brad looked rich for 20 years, but Tim actually became rich. This is the fundamental difference between looking wealthy and being wealthy. Wealth is what you don't see. It's the money not spent on chrome. Rich people buy assets first, and then let their assets buy their luxuries. Poor people buy liabilities first and pay for them with their sweat. Does this mean you have to walk to work or ride a bicycle? Of course not. You need transportation to earn money and live your life. The goal is not to have zero car costs, but to minimize the bleeding. The solution is to stop viewing your car as a status symbol. Start viewing your car as a utility, like a dishwasher or a lawnmower. You wouldn't finance a dishwasher for 84 months just to impress your neighbors. So, here is the golden rule for buying cars without going broke. It is called the Watchy 10th rule. For responsible vehicle ownership, you should never spend more than 10% of your gross annual income on a car. If you make $50,000 a year, your car budget is $5,000. I know that sounds harsh, but that is what your finances can actually handle. Buying a used car lets someone else take the massive depreciation hit for you. Let the first owner lose 40% of the value, then you sweep in. Maintain that used car religiously, because oil changes are cheaper than car payments. And most importantly, take the difference and invest it into income-producing assets. Drive like no one else now, so you can live like no one else later. Don't let a piece of metal and glass rob you of your financial freedom. Be smart, do the math, and stop driving your retirement fund.